Welcome, Pisces. This is your August 10th through August 16th forecast. And for you, the most impactful event this week is going to be Mercury being direct in Leo on August 11th. And that's highlighting your spiritual growth and development. So harmonizing creativity with inner vision is going to stir your growth. And you're being guided to translate intuitive messages into light-filled action. Let's see what else we have going on for you, Pisces, here as a focus for this month. Let's see. So we have the Page of Wands here. We also have the Page of Swords. And we have the Hierophant. Okay. So, and you can apply this to a couple different scenarios here. So I'm really just going to speak to it from a spiritual perspective here. But there may be like some particular teachings here that have resonated with you previously before you were aware, you were awoke. And now that you are raising your consciousness and your frequency, like those ideas, those traditions, those values, those expectations and requirements are no longer aligned with who you are. And like I said, you can apply this to different situations and scenarios, but it's like you are seeking clarity and receiving that clarity. And then you are also learning more about what you feel passionate about and what brings you joy here. Let's see. Let's look at some challenges here. So you may have difficulty or encounter some resistance as you're working to heal yourself at this time, as you're working to overcome any challenges or obstacles this week. You may also feel like you have a couple different options available to you. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and you may find that many of those things are things that you don't want to do or you don't feel like they're the best options for you. So it's like, yeah, there's a couple different avenues I could do. I could do this, I could do A, I could do B, I could do C, but I don't really feel like any of those are going to be for my best advancement here. But trust as well within these options. There are options that are going to be for your highest good and that are going to be the most beneficial to you. So this is about you taking the time that you need to evaluate and reflect and decide what your next steps are going to be and what's right for you and what's going to work for you and what makes you feel fulfilled here. So we also have closing out of cycles and chapters, and I'm hearing like this is a process for you. So this may even extend to additional weeks as we come up here. But this is really about you identifying the steps that you want to take, the path that you want to take, and allowing old cycles to close and not focus on the past and not focus on what you don't have and not focus on what you lost, and focus on the present moment and what you're doing in the present moment and how you're feeling in the present moment, because your environment is just a mirror of who you are at this point in time. And you have every opportunity to reframe that and to choose a different response and to choose a different way to be that's more aligned with your authentic self, because this is you having the opportunity to open new chapters of joy and bliss and abundance and fulfillment. But we see this coming up here as resistance and as challenging for you. So that is really a strong component here for you to work on these new ideas, these new options that you do have, deciding on what is best for you, and then taking that in stride with and taking inspired action toward those steps. So what else do we have here? Let's look at underlying what's going on. So you may have a little bit of resistance or a little bit of fear about the work that you feel and you've identified is involved with your growth, with you reaching a place where you're feeling fulfilled and satisfied here. So yeah, you may have a little bit of worry about the work that's involved with that. And when you're doing things that you love and you're making choices that feel good to you, there may be this component, a little bit of like, am I doing the right thing? It may feel a little uneasy initially, but really listening in and honing in and connecting with your intuition and your higher self, you're going to know that it is the right choice. You're going to know that, okay, maybe there might be a little uncomfortable for a little bit here, but ultimately this is what's best for me. And this is what I feel is going to make me feel the most fulfilled. So We also have Judgment here, and you just having an awakening that's coming through, coming out, you raising your frequency and your consciousness and understanding, like we talked about. You may find that these old traditions, these old writings, these old teachings are just not who you are. They don't make any sense to you anymore. They're not inclusive, and they're not aligned with where we are as a collective today. And you're taking a more spiritually aligned approach here. So let's look at your, also here, some of you may even feel a little unsure about how others are going to view you when you say, okay, yeah, I'm not subscribing to these particular teachings anymore. I'm going to follow my own path. And what others think of you is none of your concern. This is about you. This is about what you came here to do. And you have greater wisdom. You may have it now, or it is coming to you. And you have a greater purpose here as it relates to uplifting humanity. So you can't get caught up in, what one particular person or one group even is going to say about you, because this is about you doing what's best for you, and that ultimately having a greater impact, greater positive impact on humanity. So let's look at, so we're looking at beliefs and goals here. We have the Knight of Cups, and we have Death. Yeah, so you are believing very strongly and wanting to work towards fulfillment and blessings and transformation here. So you want to step towards this place where you do have that spiritual awakening, and you're some of you are interested in connecting with interdimensional beings. You're interested in channeling. You're interested in more of the exploring your esoteric gifts and talents and abilities. So there's so much work here that you are enlightened enough to do and to be exploring. And it's sort of like, where are you now? Why haven't some of you gone there yet? Because this is you going there and wanting to go there. So what have you done to start this process, to start doing more of what you love here? Let's look at your approach, the Empress. For some of you, it may be about stepping out of your comfort zone. For others, it could be about having the self-esteem, the bravery, the courageousness here. But it is all available to you. You have everything within you already that you need. You have that wisdom. You have that knowledge. If you are wanting to be psychic or a medium or read tarot, like, you have those abilities within you already. And yeah, there is this practical application here that is part of inspired action that you'll take, but you ultimately can do anything you want to do because you already done it. You already have it, anything that you're desiring. And it's a matter of you remembering that and connecting back to that through your emotions, through your thoughts, through your beliefs, and through your actions. So let's see. All right. And externally, there's a lot of opportunity for you to find that wisdom that you're seeking here. And when I say find that wisdom, I mean just connecting with soul family and just connecting with like-minded individuals, because we know you have the answers already, but you taking those inspired action, those steps is going to help you in the process. And part of those steps would be to connect with like-minded individuals, to find the community that has the same interests that you have and that's going to be supportive of you in your journey. Okay, so it's definitely time to allow yourself to be divinely guided and allow Source to lead you and lead the way. And Source will bring in, okay, this particular community, you may come across it out on Discord, where, you know, that's a spiritual community and they're speaking of the things that interest you. So that's what I mean by just allowing yourself to be divinely guided and knowing that the blessings are going to drop in and you'll be guided and led right to them if you are open to it. Wonderful. All right, so let's look at externally. We did wonderful because I was looking externally here with the Chariot, but then also it's coming up here as well, soul family. So absolutely. There may also be opportunity for you to travel here as well. So you may be finding a group or community or even a partner or friends that do have your best interest in mind here, and you want to just hang out and travel and speak about what your interests are, learn together. You may decide to collaborate on a project together, but this is really about, yeah, those gifts and talents coming out here and you exploring and expanding upon them, and then also leveraging your community to help you. So let's look at your guidance here. So we do have some communication coming in. So that could be very positive communication for you, or ones that you will find is a blessing in disguise. So even if it comes through and it's not as positive or it's not exactly what you were looking for, you are still going to find blessings in that. And even if you don't see it right away, you are going to look back on it and say like, wow, you know what? Yeah, that really needs to happen in order for this to happen. So we do have that coming in. So there's also this message here with the 8 of Wands about focusing in on your passions and focusing in on what is important to you and refining your approach a little bit to narrow down the focus, and that the result of that being success and victory here. So that's going to help you if you or feel like you're struggling a little bit and not quite sure where to begin or what to focus on. And we have the work coming out as far as, yeah, you know, once you decide who's in your corner, you get what you need as far as support here. You receive the information, you're experimenting. This is a part of this training process, this experimenting process, this learning process, and you're taking that in and you're processing it and you're learning your lessons from it, and you're coming back out smarter and more knowledgeable, more wiser, is that a word? You know what I'm trying to say. But you're coming out in a better position here for you, and you're going to be able to help and support others through the hard work that you are putting in here and taking that inspired action. And this is also opportunity for you to celebrate here as well. So you may be taking things very, very seriously here, or there could be someone in your environment that's being a little too serious or maybe over dramatic in some way. So you just be aware of that, and if you feel like that is the case, it may be a good opportunity for you to take a moment to do some breath work, to relax, to refill your, to do some self-care practices, whatever it is that's going to help you to create that balance and that harmony at that moment in time, so that you don't overreact, so that you are utilizing emotional intelligence in your responses and in the way that you're reviewing situations and the way that you're reacting. Okay, what else? So we have the Emperor. So we have the Emperor and the Empress here. So you may also be and find it helpful to balance out the divine feminine and divine masculine qualities this week. So if you feel like in some cases you need to be more assertive, you need to be more of a leader, you need to be direct, you need to be straightforward, absolutely do that. You may also find that you need to be more compassionate, you need to be more understanding, you need to be more empathetic. So there is opportunity there to create a better balance there for you this week as well. All right, and then we have the Queen of Wands here. So we do have you raising your frequency, raising your vibration here. We have a lot of kings and queens and the Empress and Emperor here. So we have new chapters opening as well. So this is about you focusing on what brings you joy and what you feel passionate about, and knowing and trusting that you are protected here. And when some of you have reached the understanding that you don't need protection, some of you have reached that understanding, and others are at the place where, yeah, that feels good to you to know and trust that you are protected. And others of you understand that where you are as a spiritually enlightened being, that's not needed because of the frequency that you're on. Nothing that is going to be counterproductive to you is going to step into your path. Okay, so just, there's no wrong place to be, just wherever you are, but this is just that confirmation to you. If you feel like you need protection, then it is here for you. He's protecting her. Okay, let's get some oracle messages here. There's still time to change the road you're on. It's never too late. And be careful who you take advice from. So wonderful. So we did talk about soul family coming through, your soul tribe coming through to you. But always, 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 you know, you have to take only what resonates. Even in these readings that I'm doing, you take only what resonates, and then you can apply it any way that you want. That's why I try to leave things more general, more open, because you apply it how it resonates, and you only take the parts that feel good to you and that make sense to you, and you do ultimately what is best for you. You're listening to your intuition, you're listening to your higher self, and you're listening to source as part of this process. Okay? But also in your external environment here. So just because you have a community of individuals that you like to be in, doesn't mean every single person in that community is going to, you know, connect with you or, you know, resonate with you and the things you say, or want to communicate with you. And that's okay. Just stick with what feels good to you and who feels good to you and who you feel supports you. And then again, take what you want from that, take what you need, and make your own choices. What else? We have you emerging, transforming, and transmuting energies. I love that. I love that. So we don't speak to the transmuting energies as much, but it depends on what your process is, but that is something that you may find is beneficial to you at this time. So really trying to stay in the present moment here and releasing the past and letting go of things, people, places, situations that just aren't helpful to you. You've learned your lesson from those things and you have moved on, and you know as you move forward that you can transmute that energy that comes your way. And even Bashar, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, has I spoke to not even defining that type of energy that you don't prefer, because even defining it is giving it energy, is giving it life, essentially. So depending on where you are, and these are processes, this is a journey here. So some of you are here, some of you are a little further beyond that. But depending where you are at the most basic level, you can transmute that energy. You can just send love and light out, and you can shift your focus on what you do prefer. Okay? What else? Variance. Wonderful. So I feel like this is really speaking to the options that you do have available to you, and opening yourself up to be flexible, to be adaptable, to experiment, and to connect more deeply for the messages and for the answers that you are seeking. You have them. We're only here to give you ideas, to, for source to speak through us, me and your soul family, your soul tribe. Yeah, it's all just to give you inspiration, but you know the right choice and you know what to do. All right, Pisces. So thank you so much for watching and have a great week.